Sweet. 7-0. We'll take it. All right. What's up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We're playing some Alchemy today, and we're playing what I'm calling the best deck in Alchemy. Now, this is being recorded on Sunday morning, and the qualifier for the Next Set Championship was last weekend. And as of recording this, I went 7-0 on day one with this deck, an undefeated run, and I'm about to play day two, so we're going to see how it goes, obviously, in the article write-up on CoolStuffInc.com that always accompanies this video. I'll let you know how I did, but of course, a little bit of a lead time here in the recordings. Alchemy, and this deck is pretty freaking awesome. Took the original shell of this list from Elliot Dragon, who won Stream League 7 with it, and I changed a lot of cards, but the general idea is the same. This is a Rakdos mid-range deck, similar to kind of like quote-unquote Jund decks in all formats. This is a board control, sort of, lots of 2-for-1s kind of deck, but also can apply some pressure and kill your opponent pretty fast also. And you can see that in the threat base, right? We see Bloodthirsty Adversary here can be a 2-2 haster on turn 2, or it can flashback spells later like Snapcaster Mage while also attacking and applying pressure. Adversary is great. Trespasser was my big addition. This card is just really, really good. It's sort of scavenging use style. Could eat some graveyards, gain some life. Very good against the Epiphany decks, the Leer decks. Also being fine against creature decks. And of course, the big 4-drops here in Town-razer Tyrant and Citystalker Connoisseur. Town-razer, not much needs to be said. One of the best cards in the format. Just an unbelievably powerful card. Great threat. Good defensive card too, honestly. You play it, you can block with it, tax their lands a little bit. Super great. And the big addition I had here was Citystalker Connoisseur. This card's phenomenal. This is a 4-mana 3/3 with Death Touch, so great blocker. When it ETBs, your opponent has to discard a card in their hand with the highest mana values. It's basically just 3/3 for 4, great blocker. ETBs to Thoughtseize, their most expensive card, and you get a blood. So one of the problems decks like this can have is that they'll draw too many flunks against the control decks, or too many go blanks against the aggro decks. And the blood allows you to kind of filter through that and get rid of your junky cards you don't want, or force land flood as well. So this card's been phenomenal. It's just so good. Just always a 2-for-1, always great. Ton of removal spells here, and a lot of them also generate card advantage. We have the Inspiration here, a little Learn board, and this card plus Electrostatic Blast both provide removal and card advantage, but also can go face. And one of the cool things is, in Alchemy, the Leer decks are really good at taking control of the board, but can't necessarily control their life total. And just having this sort of reach package of you can burn them out, but also they're your removal spells too is really, really awesome. So Blast, of course, can draw a card when you play your next spell, and Inspiration can learn a card into your hand as well, but also provide you the reach you're looking for. A lot of removal here, a mixture of removal spells because you want good things to flashback, and a variety pack here. Rebuke, break and kill, things like Key to the Archive. Infernal Grasp is not very good. The damage is very, very reasonable. It's only playing one of that. Flunk's been great. Both Flunk and Soul Shatter were additions of mine, and both of these cards are very, very good at dealing with the larger threats in the format, while Soul Shatter can also do things like play around Snakeskin Veil, Ward, and things like that. It's really, really cool. And then I added 2 Bloodtithe Harvesters. I was looking for one more early play that would have utility across multiple matchups. So Bloodtithe Harvester, is it the most amazing card in the deck? No. But a 3/2 for 2 against the control decks that are all playing Banishing Verse is phenomenal. Just a hard-to-kill creature attacks for 3, makes it blood. Against the aggro decks, it can sack and kill things. It's just a reasonable card. It can block and trade with cards like, the Werewolf Pack Leader. Just a solid glue card. Just wanted that extra 2-drop, and pretty awesome. Also, a big benefit here is the lands. You get a ton of great lands in this deck, much like Jund in Modern and stuff. 5 creature lands. So when the dust settles, you still have some things to do, as well as 6 spell lands. Spikefield Hazard, of course, very good against a lot of the early creatures, and Smashing good as well. Sideboard has, of course, our lesson board here in Start From Scratch, Pest Summoning, Mascot Exhibition, and Sciences. Nice little lesson board. And then you have some cool jukes here. Smoldering Egg against the aggro decks. Really good card to come in, honestly. It blocks well early, and usually you see this card in blue decks, but between Inspiration, Electrostatic Blast, we actually play a lot of spells in this deck, and it's pretty easy to flip, and once it flips, it ends the game quickly. We got a Meathook Massacre. There were a lot of these in the original version of a deck, but it's actually not good in this format because everything's very big, and Town-razer Tyrant makes it hard for you to keep your lands in play. So only one of these is a little bit of an ace sweeper for those longer games, but not a card you want to play a lot of, I don't think. What you do want to play a lot of is Bloodchief's Thirst. Really important against the aggro decks, werewolves in particular, to be able to play on tempo with them. And on the draw, if you can kill their 2-drop and play a 2-drop of your own on turn 3, those big tempo plays are going to be huge to keep you alive in the game. So very important card against aggro. You cannot afford to fall behind against those decks. For Duress and a Go Blank against the control decks, this deck is very, very good against the Leer decks. Pressuring hand, graveyard, life total all at once. So deck is super cool. Really, really impressed with it. And I'm going to battle for you. But first, quick word from our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com.
CoolStuffInc is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
The old Diamond Mythic here. That bug's been there for like, what, a month or two now? Come on. Get your stuff together, Arena. Get your stuff together. All right, so we are in the game, and opponent has taken a mulligan. We got a 2-lander here with a Scryland, and hand's great, honestly. 2-drop, removal spells. Couldn't ask for more. One big exclusion from this deck is Sorin. LA Dragon was playing a lot of Sorins. I think that card is really, really bad in this format. Very, very hard to play on a... okay, it's cool. Very, very hard to play on a stable board and get value off of. It basically is only good when you're ahead. And pretty swingy format, Alchemy. A lot of powerful stuff happening. Den of the Bugbear. So this is land number 4, but it comes in tapped. I think we're going to ship this. We can do better. Let's say go. So we have Harvester on 2. Trespasser or Inspiration on 3. Opponent played a Lair of the Hydra. Hail Hydra. Nothing. Wow. Okay. Sure. I suppose. That's pretty fortunate for us, honestly. Not exactly the best draw here from Icarus. Hello, Icarus. They're playing werewolves. Pretty important for werewolves to get ahead of their opponents. I don't know what's going on right now, honestly. But, I mean, we'll take it. Whatever, I guess. But, play a land here. Just get it for 3. And I'm just going to play a Trespasser here. There's no point really Go Blanking because they still have 5 cards in their hand. Go Blank's an interesting card. Not... commonly a main deck card, but again, in that sort of like Jund vein of like playing Blightning and things like that. It is a very good card in the deck. Deck's just full of 2-for-1s, They're a blue-green deck? I don't know what's going on, folks. Let's Go Blank them and find out, though. Honestly. I'm going to cast Go Blank. Hopefully they'll let it resolve. You can see what the cards they're playing. Because I would like to know what is in their deck, because we are now officially off the radar. Opponent is in Mythic, so they're winning games, This is almost an informational Go Blank, because I think we're probably going to win this game regardless, but... Got removal spells, the board. Night Falls. Oh! They discard a Divide by 0 and a Coma. Okay. This is like a ramp deck, I guess? A little bit of dyssynergy between Graveyard Glutton and Go Blank, but they do similar purpose. They both want to get the graveyard out of here. Got to keep those Leers in check and friends. Good in the mirror too. Mirrors become quite popular, although most are still on LA Dragon's list. Quandrix Cultivator. Alright, so there's like a blue-green ramp deck. That's kind of cool. Town-razer seems pretty good here. Would like to draw a land for Town-razer. So this body is actually pretty reasonable too. We did not draw a land. We can flunk this. Yeah, it would kill it. I guess we're trying to flunk here. Just get it for a bunch. They're like pretty close to dead anyway, so. Attack. It's funny, we could actually have blooded away a creature if we wanted to for a little extra damage on the glutton, but it doesn't really matter. So they had a pretty bad hand. They mulliganed to a pretty bad one. So looks like they're a blue-green ramp deck, which is interesting because Go Blank should be pretty good against them, honestly, if they're trying to... one of the things about, Go Blank is it's very good against decks that are not playing a lot of raw card draw, but are trying to make land drops and cast spells. So if they're trying to make all their land drops and also cast a 6-drop, it's hard for them to have enough material if you make them discard 2 cards. So definitely interested in Go Blank. I'm interested in Smoldering Egg too. I'd like to cut back on this removal. Looks like they're more interested in playing bigger things, cut like the Abrade. Like Thundering Rebuke. I imagine Soul Shatter is quite good. I imagine Connoisseur is also really good against them too. And it's cool because like Flunk is like a fine card in this deck, just like straight up. As far as a removal spell, it can kill Immersturm Predator. You don't take damage, most importantly, because if you have Grasp and you want to cast Grasp and flash it back, taking 4 is insane. But another cool thing is that like Flunk cares about the cards in your opponent's hand, and we're playing discard effects. We're playing Go Blank, or playing Citystalker Connoisseur, so you can kind of like help the Flunk out if it's not going to be super good at the time. However, here I think we're going to like shave a Flunk. We have like Soul Shatter, Inspiration, and Blast are both cool because they're just burn spells as well as being they're burn spells and card advantage as well as being removal. I'm gonna cut the Flunks just in general. I think if they have like larger things, you don't really need that much removal. So let's see how this goes. Obviously, their hand was pretty bad that game, so we'll see if they have a more playable hand in game number 2 here. Hand's fine. Not great, but fine. We're going to keep the mulligan again. Jeez. Mulligan again? Icarus. Icarus. Icarus, Icarus, Icarus. Icky, icky, icky. Alright, well, they're on 5 cards. They're playing around my, Town-razer Tyrant too, huh? Alright, now I'm playing Hazard's of Land now. It's guaranteed 4 lands. They're playing around my my Mind Rots by just making it so they're empty-handed faster, If I keep drawing discard spells in on a hand, they can get us. Yeah, this is just embarrassing. It happens. Yeah, oh, nope. Sure. Yes. They have Divide by Zero in the deck, I guess. We're actually like not doing a ton this turn. Gonna play this on Black and Scry. Could Divide by Zero here. We're gonna Scry 1. Trespasser. I think I don't want this. We already have 2 good threats. The 3-drop doesn't really fit in with our curve super well. The Divide by Zero, sure. So just like a blue-green ramp deck. Divide by Zero, Teachings of the Archaic. Play Teachings and draw 2 cards. So they've unmulliganed reasonably well here. We're going to Town-razer. We could also Connoisseur, but like, I don't think there's any good 5-mana plays next turn that don't get hit by Soul Shatter regardless. So let's play Town-razer, get that ball going. And then next turn we can Connoisseur and try and get their big spell. We also have Egg plus Soul Shatter, which is pretty sweet too. So Egg is mostly for the aggro matchups, but if it's in the board against like, matchups where you just want another threat, it's totally fine. Set of the Wilds, they're going to draw a 6-drop and get a land and play an Innkeeper. So now our Connoisseur looks really, really good. Electrostatic Blast, okay. So play land. We're going to jam. And we're going to Connoisseur. Connoisseur will get the most expensive card in their hand, which is awesome. They have a 6-drop, we know that. And discarding Cyclone Summoner. Okay. Sure. And we'll just say go here. We can loot away a something if we're interested in doing that. We've got the board. We've got the damage. Hey! Our poor opponent. I gotta say, Soul Shatter's really impressed me. Soul Shatter's been really, really good. Whether it's Hexproof, Snakeskin Veil, Immersturm Predator. It just hits a lot of stuff. Just hits a lot of stuff. Alright, they have a 3/3 now. That's fine. So we're going to untap and just shatter their world, I think. Soul Shatter, yeah. And then we'll just grasp this. And get in. Hand's obviously full of removal, so Now they're at 6. They're going to lose their land. Again, if they have something like Coma, we just have Soul Shatter, which is awesome. So, and even then, this is the kind of point where the burn spells come into play. Or say they were able to take over this board somehow. I don't know, whatever it is. You know, it's Coma, I don't have a Soul Shatter. We can just burn them out. You know, and having the ability to have that angle in your deck where you can just sort of like, all right, you know what? We can ignore the board now and just kill you is really, really cool. All right, so, I mean, they're effectively dead on board for the most part. We're going to attack. See if the 4 goes through or not. They can trade here. Of course, this has Death Touch, so it attacks really well. They can divide by 0 my Town-razer Tyrant. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, yeah. What's better than casting Town-razer Tyrant once? Casting it twice. They do have a lot of lands in play, I guess, but... They're going to divide. Let's see what they get here. They're obviously close to their burn spells, too, but... I could see playing Smashing Untapped, playing Tyrant, and playing Smoldering Egg, and working off of that for next turn. With our multitude of spells. They're at 6. Inspiration could get the 1 damage spell on our sideboard as well. Basic Conjuration. Look at the top 6, reveal a creature, and gain 3 life. Okay. That's cute. That's cute. And they're going to take the damage. Wow. Now we're just dead. I mean, sure. Interesting. Alright, so opponent's deck didn't really cooperate for them on the first match, but we'll take it. We'll take it 1-0. Alright. Round 2. Sorry. So I recorded an OBS, which is the same software I use to stream, and I have my activity feed up from Twitch, and it lets you know who follows and stuff. And someone just followed my stream with a very, very silly username, which I will not repeat in chat or in this video. Which is funny. Sorry. Opponent takes a mulligan. We're going to keep. Hand's great. A little awkward, because Blast is a cool card, but you need to time it properly. Because if you go Blast on 2 and Inspiration on 3, we're not going to let you get a card off this. Very often you want to draw a land off of your Electrostatic Blast. It helps make your land drop. We're going to play... We're just going to play Hive here. We have 5 creature lands. It's important to like make sure if you draw a creature land, you can play it too. So if I draw a Den of the Bugbear, actually I can just play it. Could play this tapped, could play this, but play this for now. Alright, Spikefield Cave, sure. And we draw Flunk. So yeah, we'll put up the Blast. So it's important to make sure you get your value at the Blast. We also just play this Adversary as a creature, which I kind of don't hate. Usually want to save for value, but right now we only have 3 lands. We have a ton of stuff to do with our mana. Yeah, let's just do this. Get this thing on the board. Get some chip shot damage in. It's important to use your mana whenever possible. And they play a Timber Crown Pathway and say go. So a really weird looking red-green deck. Gonna attack again. And they didn't do anything, so we're just gonna play a Trespasser and say go. Start the day-night cycle. Tyrant is good. We're gonna keep this land. We're 1 off of flunking. Oh, never mind, we just rebuke. So, yeah, it's pretty good. So we'll play land. Rebuke this. Smash in. Eat this. You're gonna play Connoisseur most likely, which is also been good, but this is great. Now versus 10. We have 5 points of burn in hand once again. Connoisseur lined up. Flunk his turn. Tyrant again. Sure. They play a land here. I can kill it. They do not play a land. That being the case, I might be interested in just going face here. We can use Flunk in combat as a trick too. So let's do that. Let's go face. Untap. We're gonna keep these lands. We're under almost no pressure at all. So draw Smashing. We're gonna attack with both. We'll use Flunk as a combat trick. And then probably go face with this. So -3/-3. Blast pops off. We hit land, inspiration. Awesome. So we had a free inspiration here, so we're going to play this 3/3. We've dealt ourselves a lot of damage this game, but upstairs. Another 3. Burn spell in hand. Don't think it matters if we get here. We can just get sciences or whatever. So go. They are dead to a great many things. Dead to Hive, dead to creatures. Town-razer again. Yeah, you're dead. Hit all of our lands. Jeez. I'll keep all of them. I'll take all the damage. And then you will die. You will die. Town-razer's great, but so you can see the reach there being super nice. We burned them for 8 points of damage that game, which is super cool. Alright, so I'm going to assume they're Gruul Werewolves, and they were just on a really bad draw. They did mulligan that game. So I'm going to board as such. Bring in 3 Thirsts, 2 Eggs, and a Massacre. Cut the Go Blanks, cut the Trespassers, and shave 1 Connoisseur. Connoisseur is really, really good, but the second one's not going to be as good if they empty their hand. And the early game is the most important part against them. Werewolves is capable of some really, really powerful draws. So make sure we have that early game on lockdown. And Trespasser's like kind of okay against them. But Trespasser's at its best when the graveyard matters and when removal matters. And they just outsize it. If your opponent is ever going to outsize Trespasser on the board, it becomes not so good. And just having the more cheap spells is important. We want our few threats and lots of removal. The werewolf deck is not really going to outdraw you or win the long game as long as you can stay alive. And not get hit by Tolvar. Alright. Hand is pretty good. It's pretty good. The burn spells can be a little awkward on the draw. If they have a really good hand, they can occasionally play creatures that are out of range of that. Part of why the Bloodchief Thirst comes in, but... Alright, so we're going to keep in... Play a red Crossroads and Scry, most likely. One of mulligans again. Man, we're wasting all our luck for day 2 of the qualifier, right? Jeez. Our opponents are just mulliganing every game. We draw Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay. Thirst is pretty good. That's what maybe we want to play this on black. So if they play a 2-drop I want to kill, we can kill it and then play another tap land. So play this on black. We're going to Scry. Infernal Grasp. We're going to keep that. We currently have no non-conditional removal spells. They play something big. So just keep that one in our back pocket. Nice mountain. Prosperous Innkeeper. Interesting. So perhaps they're not as wolfy as we thought. Maybe a little more rampy. So black. Gonna play this on red. Just cast the Harvester. They have turn 3 Town-razer, and I'm really, really happy that we kept this Infernal Grasp. Turn 3 Town-razer is a really good thing to play for, because it is really, really good. All right, they're Jund. Okay. Immersion Predator. Cool. So we have answers to that. We have Soul Shatters, Flunks, etc., etc. We are going to... Unfortunately, it kind of hurts my Electrostatic Blast, but if we had a way to make a blood here, we could kill it with Harvester also, but we're 1 short on the Connoisseur. We could actually kill it right now. We could Thirst this, they'll sack it, and then just Grasp in response. I actually like that the best. We're going to do that. So we got black, red. Play this on red. Nope, play it on black. We need black, black. Alright, so on black, untapped. And we're going to go Bloodchief's Thirst, targeting the Innkeeper. They'll sack the Predator. We Grasp Predator. We attack for 3, and they have 3 cards left. Get out of here. The Predator is very good, and normally would be very, very good against a deck like this. But we actually have a lot of ways to deal with it. Again, 2 Flunk, 2 Soul Shatters, Harvester can deal with it, and then of course what you just saw. You can just double up, you know. Using a Thirst on a Innkeeper is not ideal, but they use the treasure, so it's still a 1-for-1. Scry bottom. Stormseeker, sure. Great target for Inspiration. However, I think I'm more interested in just playing as Connoisseur. Get one of these cards out of their hand, and then we can kill this with the Harvester as well. Now I have an Adversary to play to also, so definitely the control deck here. On red. Untap it. Connoisseur it. They discard a Ranger class, so they have no card in their hand that costs more than 2. Interesting. And we're just gonna... We could just, like, attack for 3, but that opens up some pretty nasty draws for them. If they draw, like, a Partners, and they can, like, target it and kind of... I mean, we're really far ahead. Just take our trades. We don't really need to be aggressive here. Just take our trades. We're way ahead on cards. We have 3 cards in hand, 2 of which draw cards. Also, this draws a card. 2 Bloods in play, a good blocker in play. They play land and partners. All right, cool. So we play. I guess they drew that. I really hate that you can't see the cards. So I feel like my opponent discards a land of his card a lot, and like they shouldn't. Obviously, it's the card with the greatest mana cost. And I'm like, really? You have no spells in your hand, and they just play like a really good card. I'm gonna have to do a little testing with this card, just for experimental purposes to see if it's actually working as intended. Because normally you would see their hand, but it's obviously an alchemy card. So, all right, they play this. We're gonna inspiration it, and we're gonna attack them. And we're probably just gonna win the game. So, hit that. Go get ourselves a Pest Summoning maybe. Mascot, we're probably not gonna build up to. Sciences is like not super amazing at the moment. Really need more lands. Just gonna get. We have 2 lands on black. Let's get Pest Summoning, whatever. I'm just flooding it away anyway. And we're gonna play the Smashing. We're gonna play it as a tap land though. Just not gonna take any more damage. You know, if they play a blastable creature, it's not likely they do that anyway. Land, sure. Keep all these cards in our hand. Draw Haunted Ridge. Now I kind of wish I got the thing. Pest Summoning Blast. Now I think we're actually just gonna play Adversary and Inspiration them, and then go get the Mascot Exhibition now. So, and again, this is a huge swing. You know, the fact this deck can close the game out so fast is awesome. Because right now I'm attacking for 9 this turn, and the game's over next turn. Sort of out of nowhere. And the problem with decks like this is you give them too much time, they'll draw out of the discard. They'll draw out of their removal spells and just draw their good cards. But this deck closes the door pretty quick. A naked Immerstrom Predator. No friends. No friends. Spikefield Hazard, you're dead. Alright, so, yeah, whatever. It's dead 5 different ways. Sweet, 2-0. Round 3. On the play. So hand is, like, not great, but we have 2 Scrylands. It's pretty bad, but Scrylands are pretty good. You have a lot of looks here. We have all of our mana. I'm just gonna keep. Scryland, keep. And we're gonna make this. We're gonna make this black because we have the Den of the Bugbear. He's gonna swamp also, but I want to play Den next turn. I guess there aren't many 2-mana cards that are black that I could draw. I want to play. I guess there's like the 2-drop. Yeah, I'm still play some black. Black Scry. Perfect. That's the card I was thinking of. Bloodtithe Harvester. So I played it on a red. I couldn't play Bugbear and Harvester. So now our hand looks great. We got a blood to thin our draw out, or split our draw out a little bit. We got some rule spells. They play their own into the Bugbear. Ooh. Looks like a mirror. Infernal Grasp. Take 2. Take 2. Connoisseur is pretty awesome. So, play tap land here on red. Can't play Connoisseur next turn. Scry. But we can bin the Bugbear. So, now bottom 2 lands is pretty great. Having the deck manipulation with the Bloods and the Scrylands is pretty nice. Pretty important for a non-blue deck. They play their own Scryland. They are, of course, up a card currently on the draw, which can be important in a matchup like this, where you're kind of slugging out the resources. They scry top. We're going to loot away with Spikefield Hazard. It has almost no targets in the mirror, and we can just do better, I think. Town-razer Tyrant. That's pretty good. However, we're going to play Connoisseur, because the most expensive card in their deck would also be Town-razer Tyrant. If we can nab that before they play it, I think it'd be pretty great for us. So we'll just take our 2-for-1 first. It's also possible they have another Grasp or other removal spell here, so want to play the Town-razer, turn their tapped out maybe, so they can't kill it immediately. This is on black. They discarded a Lolith. Awesome. So they're just playing LA Dragons like list. Town-razer, sure. That's fine. So hit our land. Can't imagine it wouldn't be the Bugbear here. We're just going to sacrifice it. We're not in... We have plenty of lands. Don't need to take any damage here. We're going to Town-razer back. and hit their Bugbear. So they have black, black, and this. Yep, it's good. So we'll sacrifice it. And now we have red, black, so we need more red. We're going to attack. And they have one too many cards in their hand for us to kill it with this Flunk. That's totally fine. Play this, play this. Now our Town-razer's duel. If they can kill ours, they're likely to be able to disable a Flunk next turn. We're ahead on life. We're a little behind on cards, but of course Inspiration can draw a card too. We're a little ahead on board and definitely ahead on life. Now we're definitely ahead on life. Alright, so 5, land 5, take 3, attack. I mean, that looked like it was going to be an adversary for the grasp, but I think this is fine. We're just going to block here. Yeah. Okay. Spider Queen. Okay.
Darkness will swamp.
And we draw Go Blank. That was a pretty awesome draw. Actually, that was a pretty awesome draw. So we can Flunk and Go Blank. So attack the Spider Queen with that. They'll probably double block. We'll Flunk, break it up. This will go back to 3, but and we blank. And we could also like Inspiration, just kill it. But I want this Go Blank to go off, honestly. Yeah, red, black. This is gonna be on red. So dubs blocks, Flunk 1, and they will get counter. We'll get another counter, and we're gonna blank him. So put them down to 10 life, 1 card in hand. Discard Massacre and a land. Okay, this land is currently under duress. They're at 10. I have a burn spell in my hand. Lawith can 0 to draw a card, but I can kill it with the Inspiration next turn. Again, we have a creature in play also, and the card we get off Inspiration, so they're just going to sack the Lawith and let it go. So make some spiders and play swords. Yeah, they're playing the much more Planeswalker heavy version.
For the sake of all Innistrad, my will must
I think the Planeswalkers are good, basically like only in the mirror, and even then, not that good. So we're going to we can a lot of options here. Inspiration can get the Start from Scratch, which can deal 1 to something, kill one of these spiders. If we attack and they double block, we just kill Sorin. Reasonably even on cards here, obviously. Probably going to be a top deck war regardless. Alright, let's just attack this and see what they do. Death Touch makes their blocks really bad, so just let Sorin die. Okay. And then, that being the case, we're going to cast Inspiration on this. I'm not sure what we're getting, though. We could get Mascot Exhibition if we draw a land. We can get the Start from Scratch and just kill one of these 2/1s. We can get like Pest Summoning, kind of go a little wide. Black, red, black. This is a pretty tough spot, honestly. Not exactly sure what I want to do. With the blood in play, we're incentivized to want to just loot our lands away, so the Mascot Exhibition is not as exciting. And they probably have Meathook in their deck, but they don't have many lands in play, though. So that's what I was saying about Meathook, where like the Town-razer Tyrant just make it so hard to actually like cast a Meathook for a reasonable size. We can start from scratch and kill one of the spiders. Interesting. Very interesting. I think we kill Spider. Honestly. Right now we have black. Black. That's on red. This is the worst arc lightning of all time, but alright, so we're currently they have 2 cards to my 0, but I have the board and more lands. They draw another Sorin. Jesus. Alright, that's pretty good. Again, I think the Planeswalkers are basically only good in the mirror, and even then, like, they're pretty iffy. Alright, so we just... God damn it. Wish I got Mascot. Alright, we attack Sorin again. Probably should have looted first, actually. I don't think about it if I had drawn the an adversary. But let Sorin die again, sure. Loot. Yeah, I should have looted first. Jeez. 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 So, unfortunately, mirrors like this often come out of top deck wars. I think we're definitely ahead. And they've played 4 Planeswalkers this game. And they've drawn all spells and 5 lands. So, unfortunately, they're playing the Jund game better than we are. Up. There, we're good now. Draw Adversary. We can go blank their hand. Or we can cast an Inspiration. And get Mascot. That's even better. Good draw. There we go. We can draw good cards too, opponent. So let's play Inspiration. Kill the Lifelinker. And then get our Mascot Exhibition. You don't need Planeswalkers for an endgame, you know? Now they're at 9. Taking Sciences, of course, but... We're going to bolt in a Shatterskull. That is. Play their own adversary. Okay. So they can do the same thing we just did, but they don't have 7 mana for Mascot Exhibition. And we get to play our Mascot, and I think we're in pretty good shape. They're going to get Confront the Past, Return Planeswalker. Sure. So far, their Planeswalkers haven't really done much. Like, this, they both just made a flyer and died. Lawless was pretty good. But we draw Abrade. Alright. So, pretty easy Mascot. Just say go. They can return... If they have a land to return the Lolith, that's actually, like, a little scary, because Lolith is quite good. But... Jesus. Shatterskull. Alright, so they're going to return Lolith. They're going to make a lot of blockers, but then our attacks are pretty good. So we can Abrade the 3/3, attack through most of the spiders, and attack them. So, I mean, the fact that they've played like 5 Planeswalkers this game, and they're still like going to lose is pretty sweet. It's like the best they can possibly be, and they're still not that good. Hive's not a bad draw. So we attack them with everything. We kill the adversary after blocks. They'll probably go like... I mean, it's just be the same blocks, I guess, anyway. Yes, I mean, they probably just go like single block here, double block here. We kill the adversary. We end up with a 4/4 in play and a Hive of the Eye Tyrant versus their Lolith, which can make 2 tokens, and their own Hive. That's fine. Yeah. All pretty obvious blocks. So deal 3, kill that. So Lolith will get some counters, of course, but we got a 4/4 and a Hive, and we say go. So more spiders for Lolith.
My will cannot be denied.
They play Sciences. They can activate their Hive of the Eye Tyrant. A lot of big draws for us here. They're going to Hive me? That is aggressive. Wow, that's aggressive. Alright, sure. I mean, now you have a lot of draws to just kill them. So all of our burn spells are lethal now, as well as removal spells. Not removal spells. I guess they have the 2 blockers, but... Alright, we're at 8. We draw Flunk. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think that plays. So 5 us up. Send in the clowns. Yeah, this is fine. And then we're going to exile the only spell in their graveyard that they can flash back. Double block the Hive. We're at 8. Keep our Hive alive. They go to 1. Now we have Hive and the 4/4 still alive. They can make more spiders, but they're never dead to any burn spell, dead to the Hive, and we also have the 4/4 in play. Cool. So despite them playing like a million Planeswalkers, which should be like the best, you know, the best matchup for them, we still won, which is great. So go into sideboarding, and we're gonna want. Let's see here. We can definitely chill on their rule spells a bit, like Abrade, and maybe Flunk's fine. Soul Shatter's pretty good. The burn spells are good. I would say Bloodtithe Harvester is not great. It dies to a lot of their stuff. I kind of want to go blank. Kind of want these Smoldering Eggs also. Just more threats. Infernal Grasp, Rebuke. You can definitely shave a Flunk. And shave a Hazard too. Hazard is part of our mana base technically, but it's going to be a kind of grindy, you know, mind roddy sort of game. So I think I'm pretty happy here. Connoisseurs are very good. As far as dealing with their Planeswalkers, a lot of our burn spells can deal with it. Our rule spells can deal with it. We're not going to bring a card like Bloodchief's Thirst, because like casting a 4-mana kill Planeswalker on a Sorin is really, really bad. You just want to kill the token and then kill the Sorin directly. So it's good. I'm happy. I'm happy. On the draw, which honestly isn't even that bad, with our go blanks and stuff. Obviously, when it comes to Town-razer Tyrant being on the play is pretty important, but aside from that, hand's good. Hand's good. A little land light, obviously, but we can just draw land. We have removal spells. We have things to do. Bloodtithe Harvester. They're deciding if they want to cast a 2/2 haste or not. Looks like they don't. Go blank. Alright. We'll lead on Harvester. Actually, I think this is wrong. I should have played the egg. Because if they have an Electrostatic Blast, I'm going to feel pretty bad about it. It's important to try and play your creatures like around your opponent's removal and make it so they can't play them when they want to. They didn't have it, so ended up working out, but land number 3. And they're gonna Inscription of Ruin to Mind Rot me. Sure. We'll go to Flunk. And probably just it could be the Smoldering Egg, honestly. Now it's gonna be a little hard. I mean, if we have no land drop though, then it's a little hard to get that going. Soul Shatter. I'm gonna get rid of the Soul Shatter. So, a little Mind Rot action. We draw not a land, but not the worst. Attack. Play Harvester, so go. I think his card's pretty bad. It just, like, never good. Go blank. Okay, so rid of our egg. And now we're just, like, playing the aggro game. Because we're obviously behind on cards. I would say go blank's kind of worthless for us, so just ditch that. You can't just mind rob me forever. I'm going to kill you. You know? Play land, say go. They scry top. Ugh. Fortunately, we cannot produce a land here. Just gonna say go. Draw land next turn. I think we're good, but Inspiration, sure. Get Sciences. Put land tapped. Sure. I don't really want to blood away this. I think it's pretty important to cast this though. Blooding so low on cards feels really bad. Right, I'm gonna do it. This game probably needs to end pretty soon, or we're gonna lose. We're behind so many cards. So, but if we just like draw land, it'd be so sad. Oh no, not the tap land. Do I dump the tap land and look for an untap land? Oh my god. Oh. Why are we stuck on 2 lands still? I think we do. I think we do. I think we committed to trying to cast this card this turn, so... Oh god, I feel so bad. That's a land. Alright. That's another land, jeez. Alright, so attack for 3. I keep getting priority. They have Spikefield Hazard, probably. Alright, play this. Pay 3. Trespasser. 1 benefit to discarding the creature was we have a little more food for our Trespasser. Gonna eat our creature. They go to 7. And say go with lethal on board. Valky, God of Lies. Okay. You have an Alpha Mirror. Environmental Sciences. Okay. Now, interesting spot. Do I want to grasp the Valky? Or save it for a better creature? Basically, comes down to they have a removal spell here. Now, if they have a removal spell, we probably can't win. We've just missed too many land drops at this point. I guess we're just going to kill it. That's perfect. That's actually pretty appealing to go face. So, worst case scenario, they have a kill spell here, right? And we kill this, we attack, they kill 1, they take 6 and go to, or take 3 and go to 6. Would I rather have Inspiration in my hand or Infernal Grasp in my hand for the next thing they play? I kind of wish I'd rather have Inspiration, honestly. Just to have the reach. So I'm just going to kill it with this. Like, they play a Town-razer Tyrant, like, you try and burn them out. So, alright. I don't love this, but it's the life we chose, not the life that chose me. If their kill spell's also Grasp, it's good for us too, so... And these decks play a lot of Grasp typically, because I think they're just poorly built. Attack. Eat Valky. Do they have a kill spell? Yay or nay? Big spot. They don't have a kill spell, so now they're 2, sure. So, very happy with how that turned out, obviously. Kind of makes sense to not have a kill spell, because we cast it earlier in the game, so... Mind Rots, you know. It's important to know that Magic's still an on-the-board game, you know. Mind Rots and Planeswalkers don't play to the board super well. You are at 2. Would you like to concede? Shatterskull Smashing. Well, so they'd be dead to any land. We also have the burn spell in our hand too, though. So, right, so Nugya upstairs. All right, sweet, nice Planeswalkers, breh. 3-0. Goblin Ninja. Our opponent is ready for Kamigawa and Neon Dynasty. All right, so hand is a little awkward here. We have a lot of tap lands, obviously, but we can make it work. We got a Scry. We don't find an untapped land. It really isn't the end of the world. Let's figure it out. So, land on red. Scry says, Den of the Bugbear. That is a perfect mana base. Perfect mana base. I do love how these creature lands play with the Haunted Ridge lands. Really, really cool. We'll fire in here. Peleka Caverns is interesting. Not sure what deck wants to play this card. Oh, they're playing a lot of them. Maybe they're playing Oops All Spells. Yeah, we'll just play our Trespasser here. If they give us our Trespasses. I mean, again, this is kind of like a mid-range, you know, board control-y kind of deck, but we can beat down with the best of them, honestly. So, just trip. They are playing Oops All Spells. What is going on? Elder Fang Disciple? Okay. Sure. Discard Spikefield Hazard. Draw Town-razer Tyrant? Okay. I mean, sure. Oops all spells, Elder Fang Disciple. Play Town-razer, pretty good curve. Target Aghanim. So there you go. Having the ability to curve out like this in your mid-range deck is super powerful. Super powerful. Cursebound Witch. Okay. I don't want to call it too early. My opponent looks pretty dead. I'm gonna blast them. And then flunk one of their creatures to try and draw a land off of the flunk, or off the trigger. Like, before they can block with it, I guess. I mean, doesn't really freaking matter. I don't know, whatever, sure. I screwed up. They have 6 cards in their hand. I punted. That's really funny. Alright, whatever. Yeah, sure. Should have targeted the Elder Fang, obviously. Oh, they're going to feign death. It comes back. They got me. It wasn't even going to die. Alright, so, yeah, this is a game Magic we're playing here, I guess. They can jump block and go to whatever it is they're at. They have drafted a card off their Witch, which is kind of cute. But we have Adversary for spell next turn, and they are very dead. Very dead. Village Rites, okay. It's like a black, sacrificey stuff deck. Yeah, that's a thing you can do. But we curved out. We killed them. So we'll take it. We're going to bring in... I would say we want to cut some of our removal spells. Like the Flunks can go. I don't really know. Do I want Go Blanks? Or do I want this Massacre? Do I want... Like, they didn't really do a ton. And the Go Blanks do seem kind of appealing. Smoldering Egg seems a little appealing also. Soul Shatter seems bad against them. Even against a card like Lawith. Like, it kills the Lawith, but not super well. I'm going to bring in the Eggs, the Massacre, and the Go Blank. We haven't really seen a ton of their deck, so we're not exactly sure what Goblin Ninja's doing here, but... Alright, we've got Harvester Double Egg Smashing. It's fine. We can keep this. Second egg is a little redundant. We're only playing 2 for a reason, because we don't want to draw 2 really, but smashing plus the eggs is pretty good. Try and hold on to this, see if we draw some lands. If we don't, we can play it as a land too, but... I feel like Bloodtithe Harvester is not going to be great against them. In Mulligan 5, man. Our opponents are just not really having it today. I've wasted all my luck for the qualifier. Right, I'm playing this as a land now. We drew a 4-drop, didn't draw a land, so... Cursebound Witch. Swamp. Spikefield Hazard. Alright, let's play the Bloodtithe Harvester. Oh, wait. Oops. Sure. I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly. I have a problem in my Magic game where I tend to play down. If my opponent is playing badly, I like turn it off a little bit. I feel like I play my absolute best against the best opponents, but I tend to play a little loose against my looser opponents. I'm not saying my opponent's necessarily loose, but like their deck seems a little iffy and like they haven't been drawing too well. They mulliganed a lot, so like, you know, that's a leak in my game for sure. That you know I definitely should try and work on. Play Ends. They go. Might be double egg next turn. Some weird. Like they're playing all of these like spell lands for a reason. Like I don't know what exactly that would be. That you'd want a lot of black cards in your deck or not a lot of lands in your deck. Play Thirst, sure, it's fine. We're probably double egg this turn. Adversaries, it's fine. Yeah, it's double egg. I mean, we can Connoisseur. Actually, let's get Connoisseur. See what kind of big cards they have in their hand. It's funny, the Connoisseur can hit their lands because they have these things. Like, it's kind of like a weird side interaction, you know, where this thing normally doesn't hit lands, but if they have a consumption, they have a murder in their hand. Heroes Downfall. So this feels like a free-to-play player. Like, Heroes Downfall is legal in the format. There's no reason to ever play murder, so... They're playing. They're an opponent. They're sitting in front of us. Aragoth the Bloodsire. Okay. Yeah, player cards. Look at this. Kill that. He counters up my thing. Attack for 3. I think we're just going to play... I wasn't going to play this as a land. I think just hold it. We have 5 lands already. So a little sloppy. We can also just like loot it away too, honestly. Which might just end up just doing that. Yeah, I'm going to loot this away. They have 2 cards in hand. We draw a Forsaken Crossroads and a Swamp. Could fire up the Bugbear here. They just block a token with the Witch. Which isn't too great. Nothing really great to flash back here either. I think we should do this though. They have 2 cards in hand. Make them use them, you know. If you want to kill down the Bugbear, so be it. We have plenty of lands. Playing Crossroads this turn. We have Adversary up on tap. They're going to feign death. So when this dies, it will flicker. Sure. So they can draft a card and then get the Witch back. This leaves our Goblin in play, which is kind of cool. So draft a card from the spellbook. Play Crossroads on red. Scry. Grim Wanderer. They are a Goblin Ninja. What a... Let's hear it for Goblin Ninja. That's awesome. That is the most Goblin Ninja card there is in the entire... Ever printed, honestly. I don't think there's a sneakier Goblin than this card. I don't think there's a sneakier guy. This is like some Goblin Rogues and stuff, but... Torment of Scarabs. Good card when you're ahead. Bad card when you're behind. Attack for 5. Damn. Very aggressive. Alright, we are going to just sacrifice... We have Tyrant. Play an Egg and a Tyrant next turn. I'm not gonna get cheesed out by damage. I'm just gonna sacrifice the blood here. I'm not gonna get cheesed out by damage. And yeah. Send in Connoisseur. Kill that. They dropped another card. Just gonna Town-razer Egg, leave a card in my hand, then we have Adversary for Abrade next turn. Could have Adversary for Abrade this turn, but like I think we just play the Town-razer and wait. I don't think we're under any pressure. There's like no Wrath that costs 4, so. Get your land, play an Egg, say go. Hold the Swamp to discard the Scarabs or whatever. Grim Wanderer. Grim Wanderer indeed. Cauldron Familiar. That's a card. I mean, they have drafted multiple times. They could get an oven too, in theory. But I think we'll be alright. They're gonna attack. Alright. I'm gonna respect you. I'm just gonna jump block. I'm gonna show a little respect to my opponent. Discard the Swamp. Draw Electrostatic Bolt. Makes me wish I didn't discard a Swamp, but whatever. Play the Adversary, kick it, target the Abrade, target the Grim Wanderer, trigger the Smoldering Egg, get him for a bunch, leave our poor Goblin home. Our Goblin's probably food for the Torment of Scarabs. Make some blocks, go to 10. It's looking pretty good for the home team here. Face saving. I don't get all these spell lands they're playing. They drew the oven. They got it. Let's hear it. They got the cat oven. That's pretty funny. If you keep drafting often enough, you'll get them. So the 15 cards in the spellbook, you see 3 every time you draft. So you're 1 in 5 to get cat or spellbook each, or cat or oven each time. They're gonna blood beckoning back the witch. They're like just this is like a I'm going to get cat oven in play in Alchemy. End of story. These cards are obviously not legal in the format. So they're part of the draft package. It's pretty fun. Sack the witch. Get back the cat. Love it. Get another cat. Do it. I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Alright, they're doing it. They're doing the cat oven thing. This is not a stork, folks. Alright, I'm just going to take 3 here. Another Adversary. That's pretty funny. So we're going to Adversary a Spikefield Hazard. Put this cat to rest. Sorry, my friend. There are not enough lives for you out there. Alright, so bullying free-to-play players in our final match here. We are mythic in the numbers now, though. So 4-0. We did get pretty lucky this set, I'm not going to lie. Like, I mean, our opponents just, like, didn't really have functional hands in most of everything. But the deck's still really, really good. My win rate with this deck so far, popping over to my untapped.gg stats, if you want to see them, are very good with this deck. We went 7-0 yesterday in the qualifier, and I'm currently 18-3, not including the qualifier. Let's hop on over to this screen here. We can see, so not including the 7-0 in the qualifier, I'm currently 18-3 with this deck. So this deck is very, very, very good. Super, super awesome grindy deck. If you love grindy mid-range decks, I mean, this is it. This is it. And Alchemy is a new format, too, so it's very exploitable. So I know it's a little expensive. I know the economy isn't great for Alchemy. I get it. I'm totally with you. I am a very loud proponent of the fact that the economy on Arena is awful for Alchemy. But if you love playing Alchemy, love playing Standard, love playing Magic on Arena, this deck is really, really good right now. So get in while the getting's good, all right? Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. Again, I'm Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. There's a written article that goes along with this video on CoolStuffInc.com. Check that out. Check out my written articles on Fridays. I do an article every Friday. Last Friday's article is all about white. The color white getting more abilities color pie-wise lately. More card draw, things like that. Super, super cool. Love seeing that. Use promo code JIM5 for 5% off your order and get a free Davis Goblin token. That's also awesome as well. And I love y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good one, folks, and then good luck to me in the qualifier today. Hopefully, again, check out my article on CoolStuffInc.com. I'll let you know how the qualifier went. As of right now, I haven't played it yet, but when the article's up, I will have. So thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it. See you next time. I'm Davis. Have a good one.